Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to hit those subscribe and follow buttons, and hit those notification sounds no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, this week's movie, Léon the Professional. What'd you think?
I'm a fan of Jean-Wick, and I got nothing negative on this other than the purposefully creepy pedo vibe that you get a little bit later.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was any kind of a pedo vibe. It might have been like what the director was like pointing toward. But no, this is all her on him. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Is that still pedo? What is that called?
Are you trying to say it's like a reverse pedophilia?
Like she's after a cougar, but he's like an old French man. So he is le cougar.
Or according to the movie later on, an old French-Italian man.
Yes.
And something I found out, he's actually like Spanish, I think.
Yeah, she was Spanish or some kind of Italian.
Thank you, Peter Griffin.
But yeah, there is a relationship with a significant age difference. The version that we watched, however, the American version, minimized that greatly. There is another version for you weird Europeans out there that maybe has a little bit more to say about that.
Well, as a regular Americanese man, I prefer the extended version. It doesn't weird me out because the entire time, Jean Reno, oh man, he's such a fantastic actor in this movie. He firmly seats that in the father-daughter type relationship. He's just like, nuh-uh, no kids.
Yeah.
No
kids. And he runs away. He's like, here, look, I got Mr. Piggy. Let's play that. I do not want to help you during bath time. No, go away.
That was pretty cute. It made me chuckle. It kind of cracks me up every time because like he's trying to like, hey kid, your parents are dead, oink oink, you know?
Yeah. The life is always hard like this. Hand my fucking pig meat a cigarette.
Don't accidentally wake me up, I'll fucking kill you.
Oh no, I've been startled. Pew pew.
So let's just like lay it on the line. Who is Léon?
He is the fucking unofficial spokesperson for milk.
I looked up a few things. So in this movie, Leon, he's an assassin. A great one. But he lives a life of solitude. And he has this thing where every day he drinks like 2 liters of milk. I honestly don't know why. If it means something. I've seen this movie a billion times. I just don't get it.
Man just likes milk. It does a body good.
Exactly. I was going to say exactly the same thing, Chandler.
I get it. I mean, the dude fucking works out. He's got one of the most solid cores on the face of the planet.
Yeah, you got to ratchet strap your mattress to the ground to do fucking sit-ups. That's how you know you got some strumph.
But the other star of this show is a young, very young, way too young Natalie Portman.
And in this movie, she's the poster child for abuse.
She is. The worst thing is, as a child, whenever I was watching this, I had such a crush on her.
She's putting on some moves. So, like, 12-year-old Brady's probably just like, maybe.
I was like, all right, man, like shit. Like, what's up with that sucker?
Oh.
Now, we want to talk about the stars of this film. Jean Reno, Natalie Portman, both amazing. And I know I got like such a fan hard-on for him, but Gary fucking Oldman is in here, and good God, is he a fucking force of nature?
Yes,
dude,
he is.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Like, I know he has an amazing filmography, but this is one of those picks where he just is this guy. This man, he works for the DEA. He's I guess a police officer or whatever they're called. And he is just a piece of shit. He's just a fucking piece of shit. Just using his power for fucking whatever the fuck he wants. Man, I don't even know how to explain it, but when he's on screen, the command he has over who's around him and who's watching him is just amazing.
That's a fact. This movie goes out of its way to introduce the main characters in such a way that from then on, they don't ever have to show them doing anything else because you already know that's exactly what they do. Whenever Jean Reno is introduced as a hitman, he gets some of these amazing fucking kills. But just him coming out of the darkness with the knife against the dude's throat, and he goes, dial this number. And that's all he fucking says. Wow.
Yeah. Well, dude, okay, so, yeah, the movie opens up with a hit, right? And it's incredibly elegant. I don't use that word lightly.
When the hitman comes in and, he's got the knife to the throat, she's just like, I'll see you later, call me, or
That
whatever
was-
she says.
It was a good laugh, but, like, I could have done without it, to be honest. Because, like, the rest of the scene is so expertly done. Because, like, we're in this big open condo, has a balcony, you can see New York City. But then as Jean Reno does his work, we get more and more claustrophobic to the point where this guy's just, like, running down these skinny hallways, and he's just cornered in his own safe place. And there he is, Léon, the professional. No kidding.
What's he look like? Serious.
Him with his little condom hat, yeah.
I thought that was such a good moment, though. He's like, there's a guy here and he wants to talk to you. What's he look like? Serious. He says he's coming up. Just fucking kills him.
Yeah, just fucking levels him. I love how they show how much of a tour de force he is. Just like, he is just straight as an arrow, cunning, almost like a surgical blade, just like A to B and it's over.
It's a good way to be, I think, if you're an assassin, a hitman kind of guy.
100%. And we are introduced to basically what becomes his Achilles heel here is Natalie Portman, this abused girl who's honestly, genuinely a sweet girl just trying to live a life with a scumbag fucking family. Her mom's like this Kelly Bundy reject.
Yeah.
The first thing that we see from her is her, like, sitting outside her apartment door, just, like, smoking a cigarette and just, like, not really hiding it. Just, that's who she is.
Yeah, she's like, you're not a narc, are you? And he's like, no.
I do love the interaction, though, because he's like, hey, don't tell my ma or my pa. And he's just like, dude, I'm not a cop. Peace.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. And then we get introduced to Gary Oldman. She's in the hallway because she's not allowed to be in the house during business. And Gary Oldman knows that this fellow has cut some of his Colombian blow. 10% is now missing, and that's a lot of money. Gary fucking Oldman has his boy basically set up exactly what he's going to do. He's like, it's like a sixth sense. He can smell a lie. This motherfucker goes over and starts sniffing this guy. He's like, nah, I trust you, but I'll be here tomorrow at noon, and you better have it. And my fucking God, 12:01 the next day is a masterpiece.
All right, listen. He said 12 o'clock noon. I'm just going to say he massacres this entire family by the time it's 12:01. Like, he had already fucking prepped and readied this, you know?
They just absolutely roll into this apartment, and it's surgical, kind of.
Yeah. Now, Brady, we've spoken about it countless times because the shot is just so fucking shock and awe. So, like, Gary Oldman rolls in with a shotgun, and he's having fun. He's just blowing apart this family. He bursts down the door to the guy's wife, who's in the tub. And this shot is just so fucking visceral. Like, he shoots.
I was hoping this is the one that you were talking about.
Oh, man,
I was really hoping this is the one you were talking about.
This shit lives rent-free in the back of my mind because it's so spectacular and just ridiculous. Like, he takes the shot. You know, it's all phony. It's a movie, sure, whatever. But he takes the shot, and the water sprays, and she's destroyed. The back of the tub blows out. I'm just like, this is fucking brutal.
The shot from behind the tub where you can see, like, the bloody water splashing out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The best bit during that is it's all white suds because she's taking a bubble bath. Kaboom! Fucking red is now mixed all through the bubbles that blow out everywhere. It's wonderful. All the meantime, Gary Oldman's hand is being like a maestro, and he's orchestrating something in his mind, and he basically murders the entire family, goes to the man, and he goes, I said I'd be here at noon. I got a minute past. And you're just like, oh my fucking God. Like, he was not fucking around.
And it's one of those things where the movie's really trying to get you on edge about a character. Like, oh, don't mess with this guy. He's a toughie. You know, he's gonna rough you up. He's gonna kill you and stuff. There's something unique about Gary Oldman as this DEA officer that is just so... I can't even put a finger on it, but, like, the way he carries himself, the way he exudes confidence, maybe it's because of the drugs he just took, but it's just like, it's this cold stare that's not empty. But
By the way, what is that he's taking? It's like big ass capsules of something, but every time he takes one, he becomes some kind of a superhero crackhead or something.
the only thing that I can think of is like he just, cracked open a cold one to whoop ass, That's the
Yes,
only
it's a
thing.
little pill of whoop ass because he crunches that bitch and goes to work. He has a line here which blows my mind. He, as part of the intimidation factor and part of his high, he's talking to this man after he's just murdered his family. Literally talking to him like nothing has happened. Like they're best friends. He's like, man, you should listen to fucking Bach and Mozart. I personally love Beethoven. It's like a force of nature. His intros are absolutely amazing. Such powerful. I love. And he even goes on to say, but after the beginning, it tends to get a little fucking boring. And he looks at the guy dead in his eyes and he goes, and that's why I stopped. Growing up, I never understood what that line meant. As I got older, I realized he meant he stopped killing everyone because in his head, he was fucking playing the intro to a Beethoven song, and it ended, so he's like, oh, well, I'm done. It meant nothing to him. Nothing.
Yeah, it was just all orchestrated in his head. So, like, when he was asking his boys, like, oh, you like Beethoven? They're all, like, visibly confused. It's because the movement was playing in his head the whole time.
Yes. Fucking incredible moment. Incredible moment.
And just, like, a side note, like, we're going on, like, the acting is phenomenal all across the board from, like, the main folks. But, like I mentioned, Gary Oldman's boys, like, his little DEA grunts, they are really phenomenal too, just because they just react accordingly. Like, this is an unhinged piece of shit, powerful person, unfortunately. And they're all just like, we gotta do this. Let's go, I guess.
Dude, I love the fact that his goons are semi-incompetent, but at the same time, when he's going through all this, it shows them in the hallways freaking the fuck out because they're like, oh my God, because they're more scared of him than they are of anything else going on.
So while all this is going on, little Natalie Portman, she got sent out to the grocery store, at least down to the bodega to pick up some things, and she was like, "Hey Leon, you want some milk? You want some milk? Two quarts? All right, I got you." So now she's out of the way while all this chaos is going on, at least.
Correct.
And that leads us to our next little thing. So, like, this classical massacre just happened, and she rolls back. And doors busted open. Her dad is dead on the floor, and she's just kind of like keeping it together, walking right past, trying to press her luck. Like, well, I'm just going to go to Leon's door, and they won't suspect a thing. And man, I've seen this movie, I don't know how many times, and like that minute it takes for him to open the door still fucking gets me.
Okay. You're talking about the scene where she's at the door, she's knocking, and they do this amazing camera angle of Jean Reno looking through the peephole with his gun like, there ain't no fucking way I'm opening this door.
Yeah.
And there's this look on Natalie Portman's face, and she's doing an amazing job, especially as a child actor at this time, to just give you this overwhelming feeling of dread and panic and just pure desperation. Yeah. And he opens the door. The camera is basically the door. As the light washes over her, you literally get a musical cue and a visual cue of her just relaxing, like relief. It's fucking incredible shot. And I like that while this is also going on, Gary Oldman is standing in the hallway trying to have a cigarette to calm down. He's like, I am calm.
Yeah.
And this lady's like, why don't you leave that poor family alone? His goon says, go inside. The lady goes, they never did nothing to nobody. Gary Oldman immediately whips his fucking 44 revolver up, kaboom, and blows the glass out next to her head and goes, he said to go back inside. The fucking goon grabs Gary Oldman and just pulls him inside. It's so fucking good.
Dude, he didn't even have to yell. But no, you're absolutely right. It's just the way he's just absolutely unhinged, but in control of the character. Like, there's just, I don't know. There's a je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, and they have to flee because the cops are clearly coming. And he's like, hey, Mr. Rastagoon, why don't you stay here? And he's like, oh, man, well, what do I tell him? And he gets this fucking scene where they use this beaded curtain twice. Once where he's entering the room by parting it super creepily. And the second time, he is just glaring through it. And he fucking says with this super sinister tone, tell them we were doing our jobs. And he just fucking leaves. Gary Oldman, I fucking love you, bro.
He's great. And that little bit comes back later, too. Like, when they start to question him about, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, 4 people are dead and an entire place is blown to shit. And like, what the fuck do you have to say? And he has the best retort. He's just like, I had a man die today, and you're just trying to tell me how many bullet holes are in the fucking wall? And he just storms off like he's actually concerned, but he's just like a sociopathic piece of shit trying to get out of trouble.
Yeah. Haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. And he just fucking storms out. It's so fucking good. God damn. Firing me up.
Chandler?
Yep.
I'm here.
Yep.
Sound off.
So now she's inside and he's trying to soothe her with this piggy mitten.
Yeah, it's true. It's super cute. Like, yeah, her entire family just got obliterated to shit and back. But Leon knows, like, this is still a kid. So, like, what can he possibly do to console this little girl? So he runs off to his kitchen in the other room. He's like, oh yeah, I've got a pig. He's just right over here. Let me go get him. Oink, oink. And he just starts doing a pig impression and comes back with, like, a little oven mitt that's a pig, just to get her to laugh. And I swear to God, if this were in any other movie, any other actor, this would be cringy as all to hell. But for whatever reason, I just feel that moment of Jean Reno just trying to connect with this poor little girl just for a moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is a 12-year-old girl, but this is a 12-year-old girl that has definitely seen some shit in her day. Like, her father's a drug dealer? Is that what he is?
Yeah.
Realistically?
I mean,
okay, father's a drug dealer. Her mother, stepmother, whatever, is, I'm going to guess, some kind of a dancer or something in the adult industry. I don't know. She's
something
got
like that.
Kind of a cunt of a sister. She's seen some shit, and you can see it in her eyes when she's like walking through the hallway in the beginning, and even in this scene where she's just like kind of over it, but she's like, all right, yep, gotta move on to the next thing. I guess I'll laugh at this pig.
I don't know. I think it's a really good deflating moment where she's like, ooh, that was intense. Next. That kind of transition.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to deal with a child, so he's like,
no,
this should help. And this is a girl whose family just got whacked. She could care less, but they killed her little brother, which was important to her. Yeah. And this is enough to get her to smile, which is an immediate win. And for her, this is where her kind of attachment to Léon happens. She's never had, I guess, an adult, especially a parental figure, do anything kind for her. Her mother was always busy with, I guess, her adult industry work. Her father is a scumbag. Her sister is a shithead. And her younger brother was too young to really, she had to look out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is when we run into, I'll just say, in quotes, the problem. So having this moment of levity and this moment of like immediate kind of attachment to Léon, her character kind of like, I don't want to say spirals, but goes into this mode to where she's like, I think I'm in love with this man who's probably 30 years my elder.
Yeah, to begin with, you think, and like obviously an adult would think, all right, I guess I'm going to be this child's new guardian. That's the relationship that we have coming to be. But she has different plans. She's like, I'm in love with you. I want to be your lover.
To which Léon promptly spits up all the milk. Oops, all the milk.
Yes. He's like, no, you're not my problem. She goes, oh yeah, I was your problem the second you opened that door and let me in. Now, I know your secret. You're a fucking cleaner, quote unquote, a hitman. Teach me to clean. He goes, you don't know how to clean. You are not a cleaner. Look at you. You're just a little girl. What are you going to do? Here's a gun. Go clean. And she just goes, blah, 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 window pop, bitch. And he's like, oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that bit is just like to show that, she's down for anything. But I absolutely love the moment before where, like, Jean Reno walks away for a moment and she just happens to open his box, this tiny armory that he carries around. And he doesn't freak out. He doesn't flip his shit like, oh, fuck, he found all these weapons and this is a little girl. He's just like, no, don't look at that.
Oh, you looked at it. Shit.
Yeah. It's like, I guess we're cleaners now.
I will teach you. Here's what we do. Step 1, milk. 2, my money.
That's another thing that always kind of not necessarily confused me, but like something that's not necessarily explained at all. So there's this guy who's basically Leon's handler, and he's the guy that sends him out on hits, and he gives him his money, rightly so. But he keeps talking about like this fund, like he's a bank holding this money for Léon, promising that one day he'll give it to him. Never does, but like I just never understood the significance of that. What do you guys think?
I think it's because Léon is a simple immigrant. He is here probably illegally. He was trained in one thing. He finds simple joys in a simple life. He's extremely talented at killing. And this guy is 100% his handler, taking advantage of him. Like, he's like, here's $1,000. Go wild. And John Renault's like, oh shit, $1,000? Hell yeah. He doesn't
pay
really
rent and get so much milk with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Meanwhile, the guy running the fucking pierogi shop is rich as shit.
No, it's American Macaroni Company or something like that.
Oh, that's
yeah,
a good
right.
front. That's a good
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, it's just so vague,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, just that shop down the street, that one.
So the American Macaroni Store, ran by the Italians.
Yeah, man, that's a wool that just never went over my eyes when they're like, yeah, that Italian man that lives in the apartment building. I'm like, you mean Jean Reno? That French fuck over there?
He's not French. He's not French.
He's so angry. I love it.
No, I said it earlier. He's Spanish.
We know.
He might be from Spain, but
No, he's actually not even from Spain. Both of his parents are full-on Spanish, but he was born somewhere fucking weird. He was born in,
France.
like, Brazil or something. No, like, he's not French at all. Like, he speaks, like, 10 different languages.
what the fuck? He fucking fooled me. That dude.
The Canary
He pulled
Islands,
that
that's where he's from. The
He
Canary
pulled
Islands.
that wool beanie over your eyes.
Oh shit, it's so small and it got me.
It's just like one of those like little condom tips.
Yeah.
That's the tip. Shit, now I
Yeah,
have to
dude,
look
it
it up
was-
just to make sure that he's not
It-
French, because I'm going to sound like an asshole if he really is French.
Yeah.
Oh, he was born in Morocco.
That's like South France.
Hold on, his nationality is French. Fuck, but it
See?
says he's Spanish.
Or
He's a
some
French
kind of
Spaniard.
Italian.
What is going on here? What is going on here? He is
He
a
looks
French
good in those
actor.
mom jeans.
Mr. Renault, what nationality are you? He's just like, wait. It's just-
Wait.
He's French, but both of his parents are Spanish. He was born in Morocco and lives in Spain. Then what makes him fucking French?
Oh shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we get introduced to his hitman routine that he wants to explain to Matilda. Of course, you got to have guns. The second rule is always dress down, never brighter than the surrounding. And they have a sniper rifle for this.
Very true. Like, he finally breaks down, like, all right, let's start easy. The easiest way is to have your target as far away as possible. So let's go up on this building and take a pop shot. See what happens.
Yeah, like, I thought he was really going to take this little girl up there and let her shoot somebody.
See, that's the thing. He never explicitly said what the gun was loaded with.
No,
Ever.
like, I don't even know how that works. Is that ketchup?
I think it was a paintball, right?
Yeah. What gets you is if you go back and rewatch it, whenever he asks for the sniper rifle, the handler's like, why you want that? And I was thinking, the man can't have a sniper rifle? What's the big deal? In reality, this sniper rifle is a training gun. It doesn't shoot actual rounds. It's just shooting those paintball rounds.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And this is also the movie's opportunity to kind of breathe, too. Like, the entire time, we're in these claustrophobic hallways, apartment buildings, even though we're in this lively city of New York. Like, even when they're walking down the street, the camera always makes sure to let you know there's buildings on either side of the road, and there's always, like, some crunch.
Yes.
So we go on top of this building, and you get this, blue sky, Central Park, sunshine. It's almost like a completely different world.
Man, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but you're exactly right. It goes from being like this dirty, nasty, grimy, like claustrophobic place, and now you're just like, all right, we've got some time, we've got some space. Let's see where we are.
Quick, shoot the fuck dressed in stupid clothes.
Well, I really like that you brought that up, all this open things, but they bring it back. They have him run through a tunnel, and then they give us the view of inside the scope, which again is giving you that close look until he gets shot, and then he's like, what the fuck?
It's just brilliant across the board. Even Jean Reno realizing, like, hey, maybe she does have a knack for this, you know?
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you hit your shot. Quick, somebody get that man some milk.
And speaking of milk, what I've got today is Dragon's Milk from New Holland Brewing Company out of Holland, Michigan. This is a bourbon barrel-aged milk stout, 11% alcohol by volume, a pretty sturdy boy. I've had this beer a million times. It's delicious. I know it's delicious. A lot of rich, dark chocolate, a little coffee, a little vanilla, a little like charred, smoky oak. This is a 10 out of 10 beer, guys. I love this stuff. It is dark. It is delicious.
Well, speaking of dark and delicious, that's exactly how Natalie Portman's looking at Jean Reno right now.
Oh my God, yes. She's like, I love you. I feel it in my tummy. And he goes, that's gas.
It's so matter of fact. I love it because, like, probably ain't wrong.
Yeah, all right. So they had to get out of that apartment building. They've checked into this hotel. They've talked to, like, the front reception guy. I don't know what to call him. And, you know, they built a little rapport there. They get back up to the room, and now it's like, all right, I'm going to say some weird shit.
Those are facts. And she doesn't stop by saying weird shit there. She waits until Léon decides to go out and get injured on another hit mission. He's coming back, and he's like, oh, I'm all fucked up. Why am I being kicked out? And it turns out that Natalie Portman was like, oh, yeah, that's not my dad. That's my lover. And the dude at the bellhop guy was like, get this shit the fuck out my hotel.
I don't know that that's true, but you gotta go anyway, just in case it is. No, the scene that I wanted to talk about where shit to me gets weird is when they're in the hotel room and she tries to play like a dress-up game, and she gets into this real skimpy Madonna outfit and starts singing Like a Virgin at him. And then the next one, she dresses up in like this skimpy white dress and starts singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did she get that? It's like an exact replica.
I don't know. Like, to be honest, they just moved into this place. They kind of have nothing. They have, like, a bunch of guns, the clothes on their backs, and a plant. So, you got me.
Right.
But it does show, like, how isolated Leon is. Because, like, yeah, he's this world-class assassin, but, like, he doesn't know how to read. He understands pretty much zero pop culture references. Like, he didn't even get Charlie Chaplin. Like, he could have said Hitler for a joke, and he didn't do it.
Like, I just kind of thought that was him wanting to be, like, done with the game because he was so uncomfortable.
But then he walks in with John Wayne on the brain. It's the funniest shit. Because it's a fucking good impression.
Yeah, it is. Whenever he fucking makes extra care to lean all hard on the door.
Yes!
Like, hello,
perfect.
Pilgrim.
It was perfect. And I was just like, yeah, that's John Wayne. And she's just like, I don't know. And I was hurt too, man. Leon walked away all sulking.
I know, but she tries to save it. She goes, no, it was a really, really good impression. He's just like, no women, no kids, but I killed myself.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's been hurt before, but he's never had emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Now, little Natalie Portman, Matilda, she's feeling nostalgic, I guess homesick. She goes back to get her little bro's bunny from her house.
Yeah.
Not to mention a whole shit ton of floor cash.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there.
Our good friend Stanley, that's Gary Oldman's character, he shows up and he's like, man, DA, I'm a fucking awesome dude. Mickey Mouse bullshit. And she's like, I'm going to kill this fucking guy. So she starts putting together a plan in her head and follows him to his, I guess, DEA police headquarters or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she decides that she's going to cosplay as Léon and kill these fucking guys.
The thing is, she almost fucking had him.
Yeah, like she almost gets him. And it's really cool because like she's got pizza and they're like, oh, the pizza's poison. He goes, nah, there's no anchovies on it. And fucking out of nowhere, Léon just comes in, pew, pew, fucking takes him out. And word of this gets back to Gary Oldman's character.
No, you're right. But like, let's discuss just briefly that it's another moment where the movie kind of constricts like further than it should. Like she goes all this way into downtown New York, goes to the DEA building, somehow gets through security, and then we resolve this whole situation in the dirtiest fucking bathroom they could find.
By the way, yeah, how did she get through security?
Delivery.
But, like, the guns.
It's DiGiorno.
Pizza time.
Pizza time!
Is that what happens whenever... Is that what happens when, like, you just question something in Hollywood? Just, why is this the way that it is? Pizza time!
No, well, she had food. She was a delivery person. Well, trying to be. And the guy was like, yeah, okay.
There's metal detectors.
Yeah, but she sets the food on the counter, walks through, they slide the food to her, she picks it up. It never goes through the detectors itself.
Correct. That's why I said she was so incredibly close, because that was such a smooth operator move. Okay, let's say in the perfect universe, she just took the gun out and smoked Gary Oldman, she would have had him.
Yeah, 100%. Because who's going to expect the child? No one expected the child.
Yeah, I mean, he's so crooked, if they would have found his bullet-riddled body, they'd be like, oh shit, looks like he fell down on some bullets or something, and just swept that shit under the rug.
6 times.
Yeah, had it coming.
Yes, Chicago.
Like at some point, but at some point during all this, Adam Duritz runs in and is like, "Hey, Gary Oldman, we got some shit going down. This Spanish guy, French guy, like he done killed our buddies. This Moroccan guy from the Canary Islands.
This definitely European man, I promise.
Yeah, he done some shit. All right, take the girl to the office. I'll be back here. All right, we'll take care of this."
Nuh-uh, Leon's gonna take care of it. Comes in like a razor blade, in and out, no problem. In fact, like, he was so quick, but yet so late for the taxi driver to be like, "Hey, what took you so long?" And he's just like, "I tried my best. Avante."
Avante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The letter that Matilda left for Leon. Can we talk about that, Leon, my love?
Nah, I'm good.
No, you good?
It's just because, like, okay, like, she wants to be a cleaner, and the note is like, "Hey, Leon, I'm gonna go murk this guy real fast. Hope you don't mind. By the way, P.S. I love you, bud. Peace."
Also, here's $20,000.
And Leon's like, "That's too much milk."
That's a lot of milk.
But, like, or that line read in the same conviction as Matthew Broderick with "That's a lot of fish."
Yes. Oh my God. He's like, "That's too much milk." He's just got a tummy ache.
That's what it was.
Oh.
That's what she was feeling. Just too much milk.
Yes. Oh shit! But she gets rescued. Ends up going on another milk run. This time, Stanley is on standby, and they follow her back with an entire fucking SWAT raid. And by God, everything's about to fly off the handle. And this whole scene, again, is a fucking masterpiece. The opening to this movie and the fucking closing of this movie. Bravo, sirs.
Yeah, absolute masterclass in action, geography, just spatial awareness. This whole thing is beautiful. Because you said, like, shit's about to fly off the handles. Sure, for the SWAT team, they're absolutely fucked. But for Leon, the professional, he is annoyed, but cool as a cucumber.
You know what my favorite thing about this next upcoming scene is? One word that I get to use as a GIF, like, anytime I want.
Oh,
Rewind!
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to build up to that because, you know, Jean Reno, he just absolutely flushes through this little unit of folks, and, like, they're on the walkie-talkie like, "Yo, dude, this guy is a professional. What the fuck?" And, like, even Gary Oldman's like, "I told you so, you fuck." You know?
That is such a good moment because he's like, so whimsically, he's like, "Be careful." And then they get fucking murked, and he's like, "I told you."
I told you to be careful.
And then he's just like, "All right, right-hand man, I'm just going to need you to bring everyone." And you're like, "Who?" "Chandler."
Nah, if I do it again, my neighbors are going to be mad.
I love it.
But, like, he screams it. Everyone. But, like, it's a scream that is so fucking legitimate.
He's vibrating when he does it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's an absolutely iconic moment, honestly.
But yeah, everyone. They all fucking show up. You see the SWAT. You see all these people storming up the stairs. They cordon off the entire block. They bring a fucking, like, mortar launcher.
Yeah.
Leon gets hit, and he sneaks out of the house, and this guy is like, "All right, check and see if what's going on around the corner." And as soon as he leans around the corner, he's like, "What do you see?" He's like, "He's here." He's like, "What?" He's like, "He's got a fucking gun to my head." He's like, "Oh,
Dude.
shit."
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, like, the subordinates of Gary Oldman are fantastic, too, because, like, they're like, "Yeah, he's there. We know. We're about to, like, run in his room." Like, "No, he's right the fuck here." They're all just like, "Oh, fuck." And they all back up, just, like, going through the other doorway just in case.
Yeah, they're done with it. He takes him as a hostage, frees Matilda, who's like, "Timmy," and spits on one of the guards. And they use him as a decoy And this is such a brilliant little idea. He shoots the sprinkler to hinder visibility and fires a couple rounds in the direction. They're like, they fucking killed him, and just fucking, it's so good.
I think he's done this before. He might be a professional.
Professional?
Ooh.
Exactly.
Dang. I don't know, the way he just fucking started doing his ab workout and shooting people at the same time, like, I get it.
Spider-Man clinging to the ceiling and shit.
Then it's most definitely pizza time.
Oh, yes. Pizza time! Well, what time it is for sure is fucking time for snipers. We get Predator lasers zooming all through the fucking windows as they all panic, and Jean Reno has to save his plant, which is such a beautiful scene. Like, he's willing to die to get this fucking plant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it, but Jean Reno loves this plant. It's like the one thing he took from his apartment. He took it to the hotel. He made sure to go back and get it. It's like the thing that he cares for in his life. He's got milk and this plant.
It's perfect, to be honest, because, it doesn't shit everywhere. That's all. That's all you need. It's just a pet that doesn't shit.
Are you saying Natalie Portman shits everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, she's lactose intolerant. You know exactly where it's going.
2 quarts of just fucking milk everywhere.
Oh.
And what's coming up is a beautiful moment because Jean Reno has played this stone cold, serious killer this entire movie, and we get treated to his very thick accent, and he gets to deliver a fucking one-liner. Léon, what are we gonna do? We're checking out.
I thought that was fucking Chris Tucker from Fifth Element. Come in. What are we gonna do? Come in.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm checking out. Ugh. And he takes that axe and bursts a hole in the wall. And it's like some ventilation shaft that he just knew was just big enough for one Natalie Portman.
Yeah, it's like a fan that's... I guess that's what a ventilation shaft is. Never mind.
And this is all part of his exit strategy, right? Like, she's been out of shape that she has to be separated from him, knowing damn well that, there's a good chance he's not going to make it out. But unbeknownst to her, he's just like, I am Hitman, and I'm going to Hitman. So he lets the guys come in. She's already escaped, by the way. And you see just a hand come up from the bottom of the frame. It's like, oh, we got one down. Get him some help. The fucker put on one of the gas masks and stole one of the dude's handcuffs. And he's like, yep, that's enough to be a cop in this town.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, Agent 47, let's get you out of here. And he's like, thank you. And as they're escorting him out, you can hear the radio chatter. We lost him. We don't know what to do. And fucking Gary Oldman's character is freaking out. He goes, what the fuck do you mean you lost him? It's a tiny-ass room and 2 people. Where could they be? So he immediately goes into hunter mode. He knows something's up. And you get this amazing moment of him spotting Léon. And he doesn't approach him. He doesn't do anything. He just steps back and sets a trap. He's like, he will come this way because I have removed all obstacles.
I actually never thought of it that way. But yeah, it's an extremely good point because as a viewer, you want Léon to leave. Like, he's done something incredibly clever. And he's so close to the enemy. Like, as he's walking down those stairs, there's this moment of just, your stomach being lifted in the same way as, going off a roller coaster hill or something. Just like, oh my god, he's so incredibly close to failing. So when he gets to the bottom, and he sees that open doorway, and you see the streets of New York, and you see cars going by, you feel the same way as the expression on his face. As just like, oh, maybe, the air's a little cooler out there. Or, you want the sunshine to hit his face. Like, he made it.
Yes, and they give you that for even just a brief moment, and it's such a powerful scene. As he's walking out of this catwalk, he's in the shadows, he starts to smile, you see the light ease its way into frame, up his chest, onto his face, and the second it does, camera pans to Gary Oldman stepping out of the darkness, raising the .44 Magnum while this beautiful, almost childlike melody is playing.
Yeah.
And you just see a flash of light and a low, muddled, deafened boom as the camera and the music both begin to fade and drop.
You make this shit sound good.
No, it's great. And, even though we're playing it up quite a bit, it doesn't do the actual thing justice.
Not at all.
It's impeccable filmmaking it's incredibly simple, but just executed expertly.
So what happens next, Champ Man?
Chandler needs some milk right about now.
Fuck yeah. He's like, milk?
He needs some milk. Spoilers and all that stuff, if you haven't already fucking figured it out. But, Léon gets got, but, he's just so cunning. Even in his final breath. And it's almost fucking annoying, but I love it so much. Because the way he gets the upper hand, even at the edge of death, he's like, hey, Mr. Gary Oldman, come a little closer. I got
Is that how
present.
he sounds?
Yeah, I don't feel like doing an accent. I'm just gonna
Hey, Mr. Gary Oldman, I got this for you. It's for Matilda, though.
Yeah, said I was Italian, so this is what I got. I get it's revealed that under his vest, he also picked up a bunch of grenades off the fellas on the floor. So he's shot, bleeding, hands him the grenade pin as he dies, and Gary Oldman is just like, shit.
Aw, poop.
I called the shit poop.
I mean, it's such an amazingly impactful scene. We're laughing at it because we can. When you see it for the first time, you go, wow, that's fucking nuts, because there's this moment of mutual respect between the hunter and his prey, and even Gary Oldman's smiling at Jean Reno, who's smiling up at him for different reasons.
It's like, aw, you got me. Aw, I did.
Yeah, tag, you're it. No, you're it. Ah, shucks.
He's like, this is from Matilda. He opens it, and it's an Uno reverse card.
I gotta draw 4.
It's the ultimate no you.
100%.
But no, yeah, so big boom, they die.
Big bada boom.
Yeah. What happens to Matilda? At this point, her entire family is dead. She went to the only other person, presumably, that she knows and is comfortable with, and she is 12 years old now. What does she even do?
Oh, she went back to that school that kind of kicked her out beforehand. She's like, listen, I got nowhere to go. I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody wants me dead. So I'm going to go plant this plant, and we're going to, be team.
Yeah,
Every Tuesday that I'm free, I'm going to go get money from Macaroni Joe.
Macaroni Joe. Yeah, she goes to this school, and I guess she had already been accepted to it, but they were like, you don't ever come. You haven't been here for 5 weeks. What happened? And she's just like, my parents died in an accident or something. Now, don't you lie to us, or we won't accept you. All right, well, fucking, let me tell you this shit that happened.
And then the movie ensues.
Yeah.
Again.
Happy ending. High five.
Is it?
It's a melancholy ending, because I didn't want to see Jean Reno get fucking got. Man, I kind of want to see more adventures, but it is what it is, and oh man, it's fantastic.
Absolutely a melancholy ending. But, I mean, they could have had a sequel with Matilda the Professional.
Oh, they could still do it. And I know it's not going to be as good, but I don't know. She can clean.
Natalie Portman, get on that. So, fellas, what'd you think?
What the fuck?
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. I was like, who's this other guy who just walked in?
I'm waiting on Léon the prequel. Léon the semi-professional.
Oh, he just doesn't show up to work all the time. Very lackadaisical at work,
Hey, I'm on my break.
Yes, I'm on my fucking lunch break.
And that's how he starts killing. He slams his
Those are
tray
facts.
down, kills his boss. No
Who
kids.
did you kill? Everyone.
Yes. You know what, out of the gate, I'm just going to say this is one of my all-time favorite movies. This is a movie that I come back to often because there's something about it that's, I don't know, it's not perfect, but to me it's perfect, if that makes sense. And to me, it's one of those movies where I wish I could watch it again for the first time. It's not like it's a law of a diminishing returns or anything, but you know what? I recommend it. I hope everybody else gets to experience it the same way I did. I love it. Please watch it.
Ooh, quite a review there. I don't know that I'm quite high on it. It is a very good movie. I wouldn't put it in my all-time greats, though. This is the second time that I'd seen it. The first time being back probably 15, 20 years ago. But no, it's very good. Completely enjoyable. The performances are all great, especially, as we've said, Gary Oldman. It's a solid watch. yeah, go watch it.
This is one of the movies that I honestly enjoy for the cinematography. I don't like a lot of movies for that, but this is one of them. It's so fun to actually watch. It's like a feast for the eyes of just blandness. Nothing is ever super exciting when you look at it, but it just feels so relatable. I don't know, it's a ton of fun to watch.
I think that is liminal. But there you have it. That's Leon the Professional. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in that comment section below.
Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to hit the little bell icon down there too, so you don't miss what we've got brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We're everywhere you can find podcasts. So give us a goddamn shot. Don't forget YouTube. And if you don't give us a fucking shot, we won't give you any more milk. And we know you got to have 2 quarts a day to keep the hitman away.
It's the calcium.